Welcome to the RadioU Podcast. I'm Hudson.
And I'm Allie.
Coming up, Fruit Love Island. Gone too soon? ?
Also, what would be our baseball walk-up songs?
All that and more on the way next. Shocking headline from over the weekend. I got the alert on my phone. I was like, this can't be right, can it? Tiger Woods involved in a DUI rollover crash in Florida?
Yep.
It's true. 8772-RADIO-U or the talkback button in the new RadioU app. Fortunately, miraculously, nobody was actually injured.
That's really good.
Don't know how that's possible.
Yeah.
When you roll over your vehicle, and if you remember, Tiger Woods, this is not his first time.
No.
This is why I thought it was like, is this a repeat? Is this like a retrospective?
I know. I was like, he did it again? Again?
Yeah.
What?
And it was such bad timing because last week, Tiger Woods had I think it was Monday or Tuesday night, he golfed on the TGL.
Yeah, he had just come back from injury.
And it was like, could he golf in the Masters this coming week? Maybe. And then he gets in a car crash and it's like, well, glad he's okay, but there goes that idea, right?
Yep.
But actually, I don't know. He might still, I don't know. But Tiger Woods involved in a DUI. But of course, it's been so interesting. I don't know if you've seen all the people debating it online.
I haven't seen it, no.
Everybody, a lot of people are like, well, this seals it. Tiger Woods is a bad guy, as if you needed this to seal it. He's like notorious for his cheating scandals and for previous, like we mentioned, DUI incidents.
Yeah.
But then there's other people like, oh, so he makes one mistake and all of a sudden, which among us haven't made a mistake? But it's like, hello, he's continually getting behind the wheel of a vehicle when of all people, he definitely has the means to not have to do this.
Yeah.
They're like, well, he's had some issues with his dad in the past, and now he has a pain pill addiction. It's okay, then don't get behind the wheel of a vehicle. You have bajillions of dollars.
Right.
Hire somebody so you're not putting lives at risk.
Exactly. That's definitely what I would have told Tiger Woods as well. Like, don't drive then. Have somebody else drive you around.
Mm-hmm.
But Tiger Woods gives off control freak vibes, so I don't think he would allow somebody to drive him around. But he should. He definitely should have somebody drive him around now. Is it particularly fair that, you have to, he's had so many surgeries and stuff, and some of that is, and some would say, self-inflicted, but like if you have to take medication to be able to deal with that, is it fair that now you're not allowed to drive anymore? Maybe not necessarily, but is it safe? Is it the safe thing? Yeah. Yeah, because you're extremely lucky you haven't died from one of these crashes or killed somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
Because that's what happens a lot of times when somebody's driving under the influence. Maybe they're okay, but they hurt somebody else.
Mm-hmm.
They could kill someone out behind, using that death mobile and driving under the influence. So that is terrible in and of itself. I saw that headline and I was like, no, just immediately like, head to desk, because you're just like, come on, Tiger. Like, have you not learned from these mistakes?
Get an Uber. You can afford it.
Well, he's made so many mistakes. And it's true. When someone's in the spotlight, it's a lot easier to point at them and be like, look at all these times you've messed up, because they're highlighted. He's been on a pedestal. But it's disappointing, because you would think you could learn from these things, and clearly he hasn't.
Yeah. I want to see Tiger golf, and
I want to see him succeed.
Yeah,
the 2019 Masters is my favorite Masters I've ever watched.
I don't know why everybody wants to make excuses. I mean, yeah, you love him, you grew up watching him, maybe, but you don't have to make excuses for these things, these dangerous things he's doing.
No,
I didn't realize this until very recently. Tiger Woods is dating Vanessa Trump.
Yeah,
and so it's a few steps away from the president, of course, but it's still close enough that, like, her children have Secret Service.
Yeah, they do.
And so Tiger Woods is now not allowed to drive them anymore.
Yeah, I watched Kai Trump, who is Donald Trump Jr.'s daughter. She's a golfer, really, really good, playing for the University of Miami, I believe now. And she was on Logan Paul's podcast randomly, and I watched a few clips from that, and she did say, she was like, yeah, it's been weird. Like, I have Secret Service now.
Yeah.
Because the whole family, even the grandchildren, have Secret Service.
Yeah, even though Vanessa Trump, she's only related by marriage, and now they're not married anymore.
Yeah, but they share children, so the grandchildren all get Secret Service. So,
pretty wild, but Tiger Woods not driving them around anymore.
Nope.
Hopefully he's not driving anybody around.
Yeah.
Easter may be ruined for many in Poland. 8772 Radio U or the talkback button in the new Radio U app, because a shipment of over 400,000 Kit Kats has mysteriously disappeared.
What?
Yeah, you can't have an Easter basket without Kit Kats, and they're even more. I feel like Kit Kats are like least popular in the United States.
Yeah, that's like some filler item.
Yeah, but I think in other countries, I feel like they're much bigger.
Probably.
In Poland now, that's where this shipment was headed from Italy to Poland. This shipment of over 12 tons of Kit Kat bars has gone missing. And at this time, we still don't know where they've wound up. I guess that's what missing means.
How does 12 tons of Kit Kat bars just disappear?
Somebody really motivated to steal them has managed to steal them, apparently. It looks like possibly the truck that was transporting them has disappeared as well.
So the truck was stolen.
The truck was stolen, whether it be, I don't know if the driver is accounted for. Has anybody bothered to ask that?
Yeah,
how's the driver doing?
Did the driver go use the bathroom at the gas station? He comes back out and his truck's gone?
Right.
He has to call the police or something?
Or I feel like some brilliant detective work here. If the driver is also missing, maybe he's the culprit.
Maybe.
He drove it off somewhere.
I think you have a number one suspect if the driver is missing.
Either way, I feel like the driver still could be in on it, even if he did go to the bathroom at a gas station and the truck disappeared.
Yeah, it could be an inside job.
He might have scheduled his stop at that gas station, with intention.
Yeah.
So that somebody else could drive away with it.
It does say here that each bar has a traceable batch code, and that's what authorities are using to investigate this.
Mm-hmm.
It also says that in Europe, there is a growing trend of cargo heists.
Mm-hmm.
Those heists include Kit Kat bars, apparently.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I love how they're so optimistic of as soon as somebody just scans a barcode,
yeah.
You think somebody that stole a truck worth of Kit Kats, you think they're scanning barcodes?
I mean, I think if you asked any police officers, they would tell you how surprised they are how dumb criminals can be sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe some criminals would accidentally do that.
It's something, but also that maybe feels like the last thing they can use to possibly, to have any hope, to give people a shred of hope that they'll find these Kit Kats.
That they'll find the Kit Kat bars.
Because more than likely, I feel like they just get distributed on the black Kit Kat market. I don't know what that is, but I just feel like if you're stealing this, I just don't think you're going through, you're not just taking it to a Kroger and being like, here's your Kit Kat shipment, scan in the barcodes on the boxes. I don't think they're doing that.
No, yeah, they're showing up to some schools in the shady alley and they've got a coat and they're like, do you want some Bit Bat bars?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Or they're selling them at a farmer's market or something, taking cash only, taking euros only.
Yeah.
I don't think you're finding these.
Yeah, I don't think so either.
But apparently they're special edition too. So you know where else these could wind up is on eBay, on Craigslist or whatever, Facebook Marketplace, whatever they have in Europe. I don't think you're not getting these back.
No, you're not getting these back. Hopefully they can find the truck. I feel like that's probably a little harder to conceal, but maybe not.
Yeah, especially if it's got Kit Kat plastered all over the sides.
Yeah, if it's an actual Kit Kat branded truck.
Yeah, or even Nestle.
Yeah, they'd have to paint over it.
That probably helps your odds. But I think it's definitely possible you find that truck in a ditch somewhere with no Kit Kats left inside.
Just abandoned.
As quickly as it came, it's went away. Fruit Love Island is over.
I didn't know that was even a thing.
Well, we had discussed on the show the advent of the fruit videos where it was it was brain rot.
Cheating.
Yeah, that wasn't especially associated with Fruit Love Island specifically.
Okay.
And generally the brain rot videos of anthropomorphized fruit is probably not going anywhere. But Fruit Love Island was, I feel like, the crux, the climax of the fruit-related brain rot.
Okay.
And it was literally fruit Love Island, but with fruit characters.
With fruit. Yeah.
Generated by AI.
Okay.
And it had captivated millions. But the anonymous creator of Fruit Love Island has since deleted their account, it looks like, and basically said it's over. They were claiming they were getting reported and banned a lot for unknown reasons on TikTok. And so despite the millions of views they were able to rack up, Fruit Love Island is done.
Dang.
I know.
That's
and I just when it was
for
getting
those
good.
That loved it. Yeah.
Yeah, just when it was getting good. And the problem is, unlike Real Love Island, we don't get to find out who won or anything.
Man, that stinks. I'm seeing a tweet here that says, Fruit Love Island is the world's hottest new TV show. The first episode dropped a week ago, and it's gone vertical. Hundreds of millions of people are tuning in. Thousands are voting, and celebrities are posting about it. It's entirely AI generated and airs on TikTok.
Yeah. Everybody was talking about it.
It's funny, I feel like we were half joking when we talked about the AI generated like cheating videos with the fruit thing. How we were like, this is people's new entertainment, new TV show. And we were kind of half joking, like, who's really going to watch this as a TV show?
Yeah.
People really were watching it as a TV
100%,
show.
I'm telling you. And I don't know, is it better to watch Fruit Love Island than Real Love Island?
I mean, I feel like both could be considered brain rot.
Exactly.
Both could be considered brain rot.
But in Real Love Island, producers are like coercing people and putting them into situations that actually like could possibly be considered negative for real life people to go through.
Well,
whereas this is all fake. So no worries, right?
For sure. It's all generated in somebody's messed up mind because they have to put the prompts in. But I think Love Island is probably the show with the least amount of producer getting involved, creating a narrative, because it's all live. Like, it's live happening. The show is airing as it's happening. So it's almost like Big Brother with just a little bit of latency. But it's still not great because these people are pretty messed up.
Yeah.
Like, they have a very, very warped sense of what the real world is. And so you get to see that on full display if you watch Love Island. So yeah, I could definitely consider both being forms of brain rot. One's just real people, and the other is AI generated content.
Literally like peaches as people. But I don't know. It is, a bittersweet moment, I think.
Oh, yeah.
And
was it taken down because of like copyright infringement or trademark?
We don't have any explanation for any of that.
Because the person was like, I got targeted and I'm not going to make these anymore.
You could argue that the entire thing was like performance art. Like if you wanted to, because we don't know who it was behind it.
Yeah.
And we don't know, like what was a part of it that they intended the whole time.
Yeah.
Was them taking it all down and getting angry and saying they were getting reported. Was that all a part of the performance?
Maybe. It's a social experiment.
Yeah. Or was it just some dumb person that did something and it took off that they didn't realize? They just thought they were being funny, and then it actually was getting reported and they got tired of having all the pressure,
I think that's the more likely story, but I kind of want it to be that they were, trying to pull one over on everybody.
Sure, we'll find out one day after we don't care anymore. It's our Monday tradition, the box office breakdown, looking at what made money and what didn't in theaters over the weekend. Let us know what you've watched lately at 8772 Radio U or with the talkback button in the new Radio U app. Allie, take a guess. What was number one in theaters?
Oh, dang it. What did we talk about that was releasing this weekend? There wasn't really much new stuff from what I remember. So, what that released last week? Goodness, it's been too long of a weekend. My brain was all on baseball.
Just name a movie. Just name any movie.
Hoppers, even though I know it's not right. It's too old now.
Close. It was number 2.
Okay.
Hoppers was number 2. You are correct in that it was a slow weekend for brand new movies.
I completely forgot about Project Hail Mary.
Yeah. Project Hail Mary was far and away the number 1 movie in the United States. Yet again, another $54 million this weekend.
Whew, I need to go see this movie.
It has now made over $300 million worldwide in just 2 weeks in theaters. And it is like one of the smallest drop-offs we've seen in quite a while. Like they're comparing it to Oppenheimer.
Wow.
As far as like how much staying power it had from week 1 to week 2 in theaters.
Oppenheimer
so that's
almost,
a good sign.
Yeah. If this can go on Oppenheimer level of making money, I'm sure the studio that made this will be super happy, which is Amazon MGM, because Oppenheimer almost made $1 billion.
Yeah. And Project Hail Mary is in a good spot because it did, besides getting very good reviews and having a good opening weekend, it had really no competition this week either.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting because this coming week, I believe, is the Super Mario movie, but I don't know if there's a lot of crossover necessarily between that and Project Hail Mary, so it could still have a few strong weeks ahead of it.
Yeah.
So definitely gonna do pretty well if you consider it hasn't done well already. The only new movies, there was 2 that cracked the top 10 that were actually new releases this week. One was They Will Kill You.
Okay.
Which was at number 3. It made $5 million. Not particularly good.
Yeah.
And then the other one was something called Forbidden Fruits, which was way down at number 10, 1.2 million. Probably not even worth talking about. But the rest of the top 10 was all movies that have been out for several weeks. So not a lot of competition for Project Hail Mary, I guess we'll just say.
Yeah.
It's just been able to clean up at the box office. So hopefully one of us will get to go see it.
I do really want to go see it in theaters, so I'm not sure when, but hopefully soon.
If you've seen Project Hail Mary, we definitely want to see your review at 8772-RADIO-U or using the talkback button in the new RadioU app, and let us know anything else you may have watched as well. We always love to get to those reviews. Allie and I, at least I know, I mean, maybe you've been too busy watching baseball, but I've watched something.
I watched something too.
Okay, we'll get to that and your reviews coming up. We just did the box office breakdown, looking at what made money and what didn't in theaters this weekend. What made money was Project Hail Mary, another $54 million in North America. What didn't is basically everything else.
Oh.
It was Hoppers at number 2 and followed by They Will Kill You at number 3. We did get some reviews coming in.
Okay.
In fact, Jacob at 8772-RADIO-U says, Project Hail Mary was good, so good. Recommend seeing it in Dolby Cinema or IMAX.
Okay.
He also saw They Will Kill You. He says, it was so much fun. I went in blind. It's like a mix of Kill Bill, Evil Dead, and John Wick choreography.
What?
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting that.
You're telling
Kill
me
Bill?
A mix of Kill Bill, Evil Dead, and John Wick only made $5 million in its opening weekend.
Yeah, that's crazy. But maybe it's a hidden gem. People don't know.
Yeah, could be.
People aren't aware that it's like Kill Bill. Kill Bill is one of my favorite movies. So, all right. We also heard from Regina. She said she saw Project Hail Mary as well. She said it was so good. I'm happy with how well they adapted it from the book, but added a bit more comedy to balance out the heavier subject. My friends and husband who haven't read the book also really enjoyed it, and my husband was impressed with how much science they had.
All right.
I know I'm going to love it, Regina, so
Yeah.
thanks for the reviews, guys.
I got to see that. And let's see. What have you watched lately, Allie?
So I recently returned to a documentary, which is one of my favorites, from Penelope Spheris, who is the director for Wayne's World.
Okay.
She made a trilogy documentary series of 3 films called The Decline of Western Civilization. Have you ever heard of these?
No.
They're all about music, different music scenes.
Mm-hmm.
And the first and third one are both about punk. And I've only watched those one time. And they're a lot more sad and serious.
Yeah.
Because the punk scene was like really not a great scene to be a part of in times because there's a lot of drugs and just not great stuff going on.
I haven't watched those, but I've like kind of done a bit of research on the punk scene from back in the day when that was getting started. And I feel like I went in expecting to, like, oh, it's something really profound that like inspired this on. It's like, no, there's really nothing to the
It was just a lot of
There's
drugs
nothing to anything at all.
Drugs and homelessness and violence. But yeah, those are more serious and kind of sad. But the middle one, The Decline of Western Civilization Part 2, The Metal Years, is legitimately hilarious. It's a documentary, but it feels like this is Spinal Tap, like a fake documentary, because it's all about the metal scene on the Sunset Strip. And it was all filmed, I think, between the years of 86 and 87, or maybe even 88. And it interviews bands that were successful on the Sunset Strip and bands that were trying to make it. And so it really is like a time capsule of the 80s on the Sunset Strip, and I loved it. I think it's one of my favorite movies. I watched it a whole bunch in college, and so I just recently watched it for the first time with my boyfriend. He hadn't seen it, and so I try to convert people to this movie because it really is a great time. So yeah, I watched that again for the first time in a few years.
All right, I watched the new episode of Daredevil, the new season. The first episode is up now.
Yep.
And I remain hopeful for this season. I feel like the last season, I enjoyed the ride a bit, but it also just felt kind of like a big trailer for this season.
Yeah.
And so it was kind of frustrating in a way. And there was lots of things about it that, like, while I enjoyed watching the whole thing, it's just stuff that takes you out of it, of like the political intrigue. I'm like, okay, that would never happen.
Yeah.
I'm fine with the blind superhero that can do karate, but like the things that Wilson Fisk is pulling off, I can't get behind that.
Yeah.
But this season, I feel like I have a little more hope for the direction they're going with it.
All right.
And it feels like we're actually maybe going to get some showdowns and like some actual consequences where the first season didn't really feel to have a lot of that. So I don't know, but it's still early to tell.
Yeah.
It's still early to tell, but I like, I don't know. Daredevil should be like the best show there ever is. So I hope that it actually works out.
Okay.
Let us know what you've watched lately. We did get a few reviews in here. If you watched any of the Daredevil Born Again, or you watched Allie's metal documentary, or anything else, let us know at 877-2-RADIO-U or with the talkback button on the RadioU app. We have a story here that hits a strange trifecta. I can't quite put my finger on it, but it has Florida Man, an essential part of RadioU mornings.
Yes.
Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
Obviously.
Yeah. RadioU loves Chick-fil-A.
And then the third part of the trifecta is horse.
Horse?
Yeah.
Okay.
This is in Florida. A Florida man successfully rode a horse through the Chick-fil-A drive-thru, which I think shows the juxtaposition between Chick-fil-A and McDonald's. Because if you recall, going back a few weeks, we spoke about a man in Wyoming, no less, that got banned from a McDonald's for trying to ride his horse. And it was actually a horse-drawn buggy, like carriage.
Right.
He tried to take that through a McDonald's drive-thru, and they said no.
They told him, they like banned him for life or something.
Yeah. Meanwhile, this guy rides a horse on horseback through a Chick-fil-A drive-thru, and they have no issues with it whatsoever in Florida.
I love it.
I think that shows a lot of differences.
Yeah.
It shows why Chick-fil-A is better than McDonald's.
Yes, Chick-fil-A is indeed the best.
And why Florida might be better than Wyoming. Might be better, might be worse. I don't know. That's debatable.
We do share a lot of stories about why Florida can be rough sometimes. So I don't know. Wyoming seems maybe a little more calm.
It's all about freedom in Florida. Like you're free to do so much, including ride your horse through a drive-thru, even though it is specifically called a drive-thru.
Yeah.
And so to me, on the technicality of it, I don't think that this man should be allowed to ride his horse through the drive-thru because he's not driving, he's riding.
Yeah.
But the guy in Wyoming at McDonald's, because he was in a carriage, I would consider that driving.
Yeah.
He wasn't
driving the carriage.
Yeah. So I think that actually this is kind of backwards. But Florida,
would that ban all passengers from being involved in a drive-thru? They're not driving. They're riding.
Good point. As long as somebody's driving.
Yeah, I guess somebody has to be driving something.
Yeah. But, shout out to Chick-fil-A for actually. And by the way, I also, now that we're reminiscing about the time we talked about the horses going through the McDonald's drive-thru. Yeah. There was some debate about what horses do when they go to the bathroom. Like you don't want to leave a horse pie in the drive-thru. And I witnessed a parade recently where they literally have to have scoopers go behind the horses because they'll just go while they're walking.
They'll just go wherever.
Yeah.
And I think that was the main reason why the McDonald's was like, don't do that because you don't have a shoveler coming behind you to shovel that. If they do end up going, because they just let it go.
Yeah, but it's Wyoming. So
you'd think they'd be used to it.
They probably just have like shovelers. It's just your job.
Right.
Every once in a while, you just go clean up the streets. So, or the McDonald's drive-thru. So I feel like I don't buy that excuse.
Yep. I 100% agree. One of my favorite.
And then Chick-fil-A, if the horse had pooped in the drive-thru, one of them would have scooped it up and said it was my pleasure. So No big deal.
One of my favorite videos or like memories ever is I was going through a McDonald's drive-thru and there was an employee like getting ready to get off of his shift and he's standing out in the parking lot. He's got his trunk open in his car and he's pulling out his cowboy boots to put on. Like he's taking off his regular work shoes, putting on his cowboy boots. And I was like, when you get off work at 6, but you got to go to the rodeo at 6:05. But that's what it looked like to me. So
He was leaving McDonald's and switching into cowboy boots.
Yep.
And I'm just wondering why wasn't he wearing the cowboy boots the whole time at work?
I guess maybe it's not like
if he's
a part
really
of what,
about that life.
I don't know if maybe he's not allowed to. Like maybe like it's.
You think McDonald's banned cowboy boots?
I feel like they
from
make
their
them all wear
employees?
those really like those black shoes that look
The non-slip ones?
Yeah, like I think they make them wear those.
Oh no. I feel like McDonald's isn't that. A new theory claims your job might be making you uglier. 8772 Radio U or the Radio U app. You can use the talkback button. Do you buy this, Allie? Office air theory
Okay.
suggesting that on a daily basis, and I would say also over time, going into the office is making you uglier. Like you end the day uglier than you started, and also, therefore, over time, the more days you keep coming into the office, the uglier you will get.
Interesting.
Yeah. Do you buy it?
I don't know if I buy it. I do believe that it is nice for you to get fresh air.
Mm-hmm.
Like to be outside.
Of course.
And to be in the sunshine.
We're
I think
big proponents of nature, fresh air on the show.
Well, and I think that actually does have a lot of like healing, properties because there's vitamins tied to it. Like those are things that you need.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like I disagree that sitting under, fluorescent light bulbs all day is, probably not the best for you. Because I don't disagree. I think that's not the best life to live. But do I think that it's like ruining your health? I don't know if I'd go that far.
I don't think anybody said health. It's just you look worse.
You just look worse.
It's
okay.
You start the day with calm skin, clean hair, a nice face, and by lunchtime your hair's oily, you have eye bags, and your face is all puffy.
Okay, is that the claim being made?
Yeah.
Okay.
And believe it or not, actually, besides people on TikTok that are just anecdotal evidence for this, experts are actually on board with this idea.
Really?
Yeah. Because here's dermatologist Dr. Geetika Mittal Gupta, who says that long-term exposure to air conditioning and fluorescent lighting can be just as bad for your skin as being exposed to the sun.
Oh.
So you're getting a lot of the negatives that you would get from being outside in the sunshine without any of the positives.
Yeah, right.
I guess the positive is you get paid.
Yeah.
To sit inside and become
uglier. You have a job.
Yeah.
Oh,
but she says, literally, if we talk about the long-term effect of air conditioners on our skin, it's more or less disastrous as compared to the harmful sun rays. Absence of moisture characterized by dullness, loss of plumpness, elasticity, and bounce.
Okay.
All of the good characteristics that you want in your skin are being sucked away by the air conditioning.
Sucked away. Okay.
Yeah.
I didn't realize air conditioning was what was causing it. So interesting.
I guess it's when it's drying the air out.
Yeah.
It makes it feel cooler to have drier air. So that's helpful, right? So that's part of what air conditioners do. And then, staring at screens all day.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you don't do that at home too, so I guess your home is making you uglier. But now, staring at if you're in an office, staring at a blue light screen the whole time, hunched over, you probably don't have good posture.
I definitely
Add to that all of these lights that we just spoke about here in our studio have a lot of the negative effects of the sun without any of the positives that you're getting back. It starts to add up and feel like you need to get outside.
Yeah. I agree. We definitely do need to get outside. We need to exercise, all of those things. I think a lot of this can be solved by just drinking some more water.
Mm-hmm.
If you have some dry...
Stay hydrated.
Yeah, if you have dry skin and all of that, just drink some water, get some lotion maybe, at your desk.
Open a window.
Open a window. I do that all the time.
But the funny thing is, if we all worked outside, then there would be outside air theory.
We'd be like,
and it'd be like, it's
you're getting cancer
smog
because you're in
and
the sun.
sunshine and and vehicle exhaust. It's all bad too.
Right.
I want to go ahead and open up the RadioU hotline.
If it'll work.
It's not going to work. So
Oh.
do it, Allie.
Text 8772 Radio U.
The lights stopped working. The buttons stopped working. Love it. I want to know what your walk-up song would be in a baseball, because I was out at the Red Sox game this weekend.
Yes.
And one of the nice things about going to baseball live, you don't really get to experience the walk-up music when you're watching on TV.
No, they don't let you hear that because of copyright.
Yeah. So you do get to see all of the players' different songs when you're actually at the game, which is really fun. I believe, don't quote me on, it all happened so fast, but like a couple of the players on the Reds, I think, were like they had Forrest Frank and stuff like that as their song, so that was kind of cool.
I love that.
But don't quote me on that. I could be wrong, but I was pretty sure. I was like, this sounds familiar.
Yeah.
So maybe somebody's a bigger Red fan. I was trying to look on like the databases, but they're not really updated for this new year.
Yeah, it takes them a while, like a few games, I feel like, a few series before they get the new ones on the websites and stuff.
So, but if you happen to know, let us know. But I was wondering, like, what would my walk-up song be?
Okay.
But what I want to know, possibly what's even more interesting to me, I know that if I was in baseball, I'd be a pitcher. I wouldn't be a hitter.
Okay, so you need a warm-up song.
Yeah, I went a whole season without getting a hit in when I was playing in Little League.
Oh, no.
And still made All-Stars, by the way. That's how good I was. Good of a locker room guy. But I feel like more realistically would have been a pitcher, and I just feel like I'd probably enjoy that more, too.
Okay.
So I think it's even cooler, your walk-up song. But what would be your song if you're like coming out of the bullpen to close the game?
Yeah.
How Mariano Rivera always just have Enter Sandman, for example.
Do like Edwin Diaz with like the trumpet one?
Yeah, what would you do for that? So let us know.
Yeah. I have some ideas. I know for sure what my walk-up song would be, though. And I also have some favorites, at least one favorite I need to shout out from a baseball player.
I also think that your walk-up song for batting would definitely, you would want it to be different than a song you would play if you were coming out of the bullpen to close down the game.
Yeah.
Potentially,
probably a different vibe.
8772 RadioU, or use the talkback button in the new RadioU app and let us know what you think would make a good walk-up song or walk-out song for you. We'll see what people are saying coming up. RadioU, where music is going, not commercials. The button's fixed.
8772 RadioU.
Let us know. We want to know what your walk-up song or walk-out song would be in a baseball now that, the baseball season is here. This is after I was at the Reds game this weekend, and I was trying to figure out, I'm sure that at least one of the players on the Reds had Forrest Frank as their walk-up music. Tim says it was TJ Friedel, who has Lemonade by Forrest Frank. And I was convinced, I looked it up because I was sure it was him.
Yeah.
But then I couldn't find any record of that. But I'm glad Tim knows. He just confirmed what I thought. Tim also said a few options for him would be Sleeping Lotus by Convictions.
All right.
Or Your Way's Better by Forrest Frank. Apparently Forrest Frank is a go-to.
Yeah.
At least for Reds fans and players.
Yes, it must be. Weird from Brian, this is a great throwback pick and also just a perfect pick for like wanting to make it known that you're going to be a good hitter.
Mm-hmm.
And that is POD, Here Comes the Boom.
That's always
Brian's
a hype
pick.
song.
Yep.
That always, when I think of that song now, I can't help but think, have you ever seen the Kevin James MMA movie?
No.
It's called Here Comes the Boom.
Okay.
And so it was named based off of that song. It plays a role in the movie.
Yeah.
It's it's not good. It's kind of forgettable. But Kevin James playing an MMA, I think he's a teacher if I remember right.
Okay.
That has to become an MMA fighter.
That's wild.
Yeah.
I might need to check
and so
that
it's
out.
called Here Comes the Boom. Yeah. I have no idea what streaming service that would be on.
Yeah.
Aaron says, Dark Horses by Switchfoot.
Okay.
I tend to be clutch and come from behind. Surprise! I love the reasoning.
Yes. Weird from Chad. He says, Me Against Me by Project 86 would be my theme if I was also in the WWE.
Yeah.
All right.
I think about like what I want. To me, I feel like if I was doing walk-up song, I would want it to be something like kind of hype up party kind of style.
Yeah, okay.
But then if I was a closer in baseball, if I was WWE, I'd want it to be much more intense of like scary,
I'm going to
intimidating.
strike you out.
Yeah.
Yeah. We heard from Mark. He said Monster by Skillet.
Yeah.
That's definitely a fun one.
Can't go wrong with Skillet. D says, this is a throwback. Hit me with your best shot.
Pat Benatar.
But that's a good baseball tie-in,
yes,
I feel like.
it has to
a
be
good sports tie-in.
used for that. We heard from Josh. He says, I Get Wicked from Thousand Foot Crutch. Another hype song right there.
Thousand Foot Crutch probably has like 24 songs that would make good, because they would put one on like every album.
Yeah, Fire It Up was one of my favorites. I could definitely see that being used for both pitching or for hitting, because you want to be on fire for both of those things.
Yeah. Let's see. Chris says, Fanfare for the Common Man by... Fanfare for the Common Man.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm familiar with that.
We also heard from Karsten, TNT by AC/DC.
Okay.
I like it.
Allie, what would be your walk-up or walk-out music?
I am also going throwback here. Mama Said Knock You Out by LL Cool J. I just think it's so perfect. Like, you want to hit a home run? Hey, Mama said knock you out. So let's go.
Okay. And what didn't you say you had one you wanted to shout out?
Oscar Gonzalez, who was a player that played for a very brief time for the Cleveland Guardians.
Yeah.
His walk-up song always got the crowd going, and it was the SpongeBob SquarePants theme song.
I remember that.
That was
That's
a great
hilarious.
pick by him. He said, famously, he said about it when he was asked why he had that song. He said, baseball is a game for kids. And that's why I have this song, because it always gets the kids involved. It really got everybody involved.
Yeah.
But certainly the kids loved it when Oscar Gonzalez came up to bat because of SpongeBob SquarePants.
SpongeBob has like the highest Q rating of anybody ever. And that's not anecdotal. Like literally, if you look at like rankings of real people, cartoon characters, fake, like just anything, nobody right now is rated higher than SpongeBob.
That's crazy.
He could run for president. He's almost old enough at this point. Mine, I was thinking like, again, I don't know why I'm being realistic, but because realistically I would never make it in the major leagues, or I wouldn't be on the show right now.
Yeah.
But realistically, I know I'd be a pitcher. And so realistically, I hope I would be a closer.
Yeah.
And so what would I want to be, like a real intimidating closer song? I feel like something from Silent Planet.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so I was thinking Silent Planet, maybe Mind Frame.
Yeah.
I think that would really be, like that would strike some fear.
Yes.
And you saw me coming out there with a big beard, and you'd be like, I don't know if I can get a hit off of this guy.
Yes.
He's got some nasty stuff.
The intensity.
Yeah. So
I love it.
that's what I'd go with.
All right.
But yeah.
Great picks, everybody.
I'm just enjoying. So, I mean,
it's
we got
so fun to
much,
dream that.
So much baseball to go now.
I know.
Just so much to enjoy.
Thanks for listening to the RadioU Podcast. Don't forget to rate and review the show.